Merhaba. Welcome to the Askaswimpro show, super special edition with Cenk. We are in Istanbul, Turkey, and tell us about what the Bosphorus sitting behind us. Tell us about it.
Yeah, exactly. Like behind us, you can see Asia. So we say Istanbul is a city as a national bridge between Asia and Europe. So, and to underline this, we have this Bosphorus cross-continental race since 30 years, and we have huge participation all around the world. So this year it was over 50 countries, and it's been a great race, and we really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was really fun to see people from over 50 countries, 2,500 swimmers. So speaking of swimming, tell us about your swimming background, you know, how you got started, and yeah.
Yeah, so I learned swimming when I was 5-6 years old, but I was doing mostly recreational swimming. Then I did club swimming when I was 14 or 15 years old, so I was rather late starting it. And then I did this for a few years, and then I had to stop to get ready for university entrance exams. And once I entered, it wasn't very convenient to go to the pool. So whenever I had time, I could do the workout with the university team, and but I wasn't like doing it regularly. So I stopped for a while too. Then I restarted when I started working. So I was in corporate games, participating in the races in our company, and I did this for a few years. And then I went to US to study, and then I needed some structured workouts. Actually, that's when I found MySwimPro, and then I was using MySwimPro regularly, and then working out regularly. So I've been hooked since then.
Cool. So you went to the United States, university. So I know you've traveled a lot. So how was it difficult, I guess, to keep swimming in all that time? And how did you try and do that?
Yes, it's not easy. So I was in several different countries, mostly in Europe. But wherever I went, I was always looking for a pool nearby. And whenever I had time, I was stopping by to do at least 1,000 meters just to keep up. So I was always keeping swimming with me, and I was always like keeping up to date and like keeping my body up.
And then you found MySwimPro, and it was great. And then now you work with MySwimPro.
Yes, even better.
Look at this. So tell us about like working with MySwimPro. So like, what do you do?
Yeah. So I'm a backend developer at MySwimPro since April 2019, and it's been great so far. So I'm working with a great, talented, and experienced team, and we are a remote team in spanning over several time zones. But I think everybody is just passionate about the product, about swimming, and also about the community. So like it's very easy to work with such people, like when everybody is so focused, and like it doesn't even feel like work. So yeah, you know what they say, like if you do what you love, you're not going to work another day in your life. So the experience has been pretty much like that.
Cool. So what, when you say backend develop, for a lot of people who don't know what that means, so like what does someone do in the app that you work on? Like how does that work?
So when you log into your app, what you see is what we call front end, so the client-facing part. So all the buttons, text, images, what you see are brought to you by our front end developers, iOS and Android developers. And whenever you interact with the app, so when you press a button, when you want to choose something or you write something on it, it's interacting with our server. So that's where we keep our logic and we keep the database. So all your information, your workouts, your preferences, and all the app logic is stored in the backend. and whenever you want something, whenever you touch a button, it's asking the backend, the server, and then it's brought to your phone or your wearable. So
And that's what you work on.
Yes.
And that's it. So what's been your? I mean, you've only worked for a few months, but what's been your favorite project or feature that you've worked on so far?
So recently we launched achievements, I think which are a great confidence boost
Yeah.
for anyone who loves swimming. So you can just log into your profile and see all your workouts stacking on top of each other. So for myself, I think I've done the English channel
Woo!
in total. So it's really motivating to see all your workouts like
Over
stacking
time.
up to something.
Yeah,
and
over time.
It's really good. So it was. I think it also motivates a lot of our members, our users,
Mhm.
and currently we are working on challenges since past few weeks. I'm really excited to launch this because it will be a great motivation
Yeah.
among friends or among our community,
Mhm.
and it's really good to see where you stand in among your peers, I think.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited about that feature. So I want to go back to when you're talking about traveling and going to the U.S. So you've lived in a number of different cities, countries, speak a lot of different languages. What's your favorite memories or countries or anything stand out?
Yeah. So thanks to my previous job, I think I traveled to more than 50 cities in more than 20 countries.
Wow.
And I think the cities that stand out the most are one is Barcelona, I think.
Mm.
So I think the reason is it's pretty much like Istanbul. So
Oh.
you have the water next to you, you have
Yeah.
all kinds of sports, especially water sports.
Yeah.
The food is amazing, and you
Yeah.
have the architecture, and also the people are really nice and friendly too.
Okay.
So it's a really nice city to live and visit always.
Big shout out to Barcelona.
Yes,
Okay. Where else
exactly.
besides Barcelona?
And I think another city would be Paris.
Paris, okay.
And, yeah, that's where I did my MBA degree.
Yeah, yeah.
And I also have many friends there.
Mhm.
So I really like the tradition, the culture, also the history.
Yeah.
And it's a really nice country too. And I think like the Mediterranean culture
Yeah.
is spanning over all these countries, so it feels really home.
Yeah. Home
even
away
you're-
from home.
Home away from home.
Home away
exactly.
from home. Cool. And so now you're back in Istanbul, but I know you're into sailing
Yes.
too. So
true.
tell me about sailing.
Yes, so in my also at my previous job, I started sailing, and then very quickly I went into competitive sailing.
Mm.
So I was sailing like every week, and we also held a lot of races at Bosphorus,
Wow.
and it was a really good experience. Like so it's a team sport, and you have to be really in sync with your team members, and it's really important to work on your team skills or be a team like an orchestra to
Yeah.
do like a bigger job than you individually can.
Yeah.
So I really like. I mean, it taught me a lot, and
Yeah.
I really like the sport. And I think I like water sports. Anything
Yeah.
with water.
I mean, it's
in
beautiful.
general.
How can you
Yeah.
beat the beautiful Bosphorus?
Exactly.
Did you sail anywhere outside the Bosphorus, like Mediterranean? Or?
Not really. I've done mostly in Bosphorus, but
Mhm.
so when I was in US, I was
Yeah.
hoping to do some sailing in San Diego, which is also
Yeah.
another like a huge city for sailing,
mhm.
and I didn't get the chance to go there, but hopefully I will get back to sailing soon, and
Yeah.
I can't wait to get back on the boat.
Sweet. Tell us your advice to swimmers who maybe they swam and then they stopped swimming, and now they're trying to make a comeback to masters as an adult.
Yes. So I think they should just start swimming. They should
Yeah.
just get in the water
Yep.
and do some laps. I mean, it can look intimidating
Mhm.
to see all these racers, or maybe they can't do their times they
Mhm.
did in the past. But once they get into it, once they get into water, they will have more confidence in themselves. They will have more energy, I
Yeah.
think. And then they can just go on YouTube and watch our videos, and they can improve their
You can
techniques.
download MySwimPro.
Yes, and then if they're more into it, they can download and subscribe to MySwimPro and
Yeah.
get personalized workouts and get even better. So it's just these continuous and gradual improvements, and it really feels like you're winning every day. So
Yeah.
it really gives you the confidence boost in your life too.
What's your favorite part about swimming? You mentioned the confidence and winning. Like,
Yes. So I think swimming is quite unique in some areas compared to other sports. So one is, so it's an individual sport. So you're basically racing with yourself.
yeah,
So it's very important that you gradually improve yourself and you perfect your technique. So it really depends on how you perform rather than the outside conditions. So you can improve yourself little by little, and it gives you these confidence boosts each time, I think.
yeah,
And I think moreover, it's unlike other sports. So when you start your day, let's say with swimming, you feel full of energy for the rest of the day.
yeah.
But when you do another sport, you would feel exhausted, maybe just want to sleep.
I think it's the water.
Maybe,
it's
who
the
knows?
water.
Yeah, so it's not disturbing, like you're not sweating like crazy, or you're not wearing out your body.
Yeah,
So I think it's a sport that you can do until your old ages. So it's quite special, and I think it's really good in many senses to start and to continue and to pass on to your maybe newer
Yeah.
offsprings.
yeah. What advice do you have in Turkish for swimmers in Turkey? And they want to get into swimming. Maybe they want to do the Bosphorus. Maybe they just want to swim for fitness. You know, what would you tell them?
Yeah. Dediğim gibi ilk önce suya girmeleri lazım. Uzaktan bakıldığında belki biraz korkutucu gelebilir ama suya girdikten sonra, biraz yüzdükten sonra gitgide daha iyi olacaklarını görecekler. Ondan sonra biraz teknikleri üzerinde çalışıp zamanlarını daha da iyileştirebilirler. Türkiye çok iyi değil yüzmede, uluslararası arenada. Ancak iyi yüzücü çıkarmamız için hiçbir neden yok. Geliştikçe, kendilerini yüzmeyle zaman ayırdıkça çok daha iyi yerlere geleceklerdir. Hiçbir şey olmasa bile sadece vücutlarındaki gelişim bile onlara çok şey katacaktır.
And roughly that in simplified English.
So what I wanted to say is, like, they should first get in the water and do some laps, and in time they will see the improvement in their body and in their times too, and they can then improve their technique by watching videos or watching other swimmers. And like in Turkey, Turkish swimming is not so good in international competitional level, but there's no reason that we cannot do better. So they can just start and see where they go, and even if they don't do very well or they don't do competitionally well, they will see the changes in their body, in their mind, and it won't be the same again. So I think they will be hooked.
Awesome. And with that, we'll close off this episode of the Askaswimpro show with Cenk in Istanbul on the Bosphorus. Bye.
Bye.